Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Fort Knox, Kentucky. I am Captain Joel Natale, your narrator for today's graduation ceremony. At this time, we would like to welcome all general officers, senior officers, command sergeants major, and distinguished guests. On behalf of Major General Antonio Manera and Command Sergeant Major Roy Young, thank you for your attendance today. Today's ceremony honors the successful completion of Advance Camp. The graduating unit for today is the 5th Regiment of Advance Camp, the General George W. Casey Regiment. The commander of troops for today's ceremony is Duncan Harrison from the Citadel. The color guard is comprised of cadets selected from the regiment. They are led by Cadet Olivia Kovac from the University of Portland. Also participating in today's ceremony is the 300th Army Band from 63rd Readiness Division, Mountain View, California, commanded by Chief Warrant Officer 3 Jeff Smith and Drum Major Staff Sergeant Aaron Mulder. To your far left, you'll see the salute battery, provided by the 277 Field Artillery Regiment, 2nd Stryker Brigade Combat Team, 4th Infantry Division from Fort Carson, Colorado. They are led by 2nd Lieutenant Abigail Nelson and Staff Sergeant Dakota Diamond. This ceremony marks the culmination of 35 days of rigorous and intensive training for these young men and women. For them, Advance Camp served as a test of their leadership abilities and potential to be an officer. They have emerged from this challenge confident in their ability to assume the tremendous responsibility of being an Army officer. The cadets of 5th Regiment are now formed in front of you. Each regiment has had the honor of having bestowed upon it a namesake. This namesake is in honor of a general officer whose values and accomplishments represent the best the Army has to offer. 5th Regiment has had the distinct privilege of honoring General George W. Casey. General George William Casey graduated from Georgetown University in 1970 with a Bachelor of Science degree in International Relations and was commissioned as a 2nd Lieutenant in the Infantry Branch. General Casey was the commander of 3rd Brigade, 1st Cavalry Division, and Assistant Division Commander of Maneuver, and then later support of the 1st Armored Division in Germany, where he deployed as a part of Operation Joint Endeavor to Bosnia from 1996 to 1997. He later commanded the 1st Armored Division and served in several senior positions in the Pentagon. Following these assignments, General Casey served as the 36th Chief of Staff of the Army from 2007 to 2011. Some of General Casey's awards include the Defense Distinguished Service Medal, the Army Distinguished Service Medal, and the Legion of Merit. After serving 41 years, General Casey retired on April 10, 2011. In honoring of their completion of Advance Camp, the cadets from the George W. Casey Regiment will be receiving a 3-gun salute in the form of a cadet cannonade. In a moment, the commander of troops will bring the units to his attention and present arms. The reviewing officer for today's ceremony is Chaplain Major General William Green, Jr., U.S. Army Chief of Chaplains. He is accompanied by the host and the Regimental Tactical Officer, Lieutenant Colonel Chad Peltier. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the entrance of the official party and remain standing for the rendering of honors to the reviewing officer and the invocation offered by Chaplain Candidate First Lieutenant Zachary Palmer.
I invite you to pray with me according to your faith, beliefs, or traditions. Lord, you teach us that there is nothing new under the sun. As the ancient Greeks remind us, the society that separates its scholars from its warriors will have its thinking done by cowards and its fighting done by fools. In our society that combines scholars and warriors, I commend these cadets to you as they return to their final year of studies and their first duty stations. The future generation of warrior scholars whom you are honing into young leaders that will faithfully deploy, fight, and win America's wars. I thank you for our instructors, soldiers from the last generation who bore the burden of defending our freedom and paved the way for us to be here today. I thank you for the support of our families and the sacrifices that they are making. We know that there is a time for peace and a time for war, so we thank you for this current state of peace, and we ask for your favor and mercy as we prepare for the next fight. Remind the future generation of the lessons learned from the previous generations, and allow us to continue to prosper in the land of the free. It is in your name I pray. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
Post colors!
The colors are now being brought forward by the commander of troops. The flags present for today are the national color, the Army field flag, and the cadet command colors.
Present the command!
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the playing of our national anthem and remain standing during the firing of the cadet cannonade. We ask that military personnel in uniform maintain their hand salute until the completion of the cadet cannonade. The United States Army ROTC Cadet Cannonade salutes the three pillars of our service to the nation. Duty, obedience, and disciplined performance despite difficulty or danger. Duty requires self-responsibility and selfless devotion. Honor, encompassing integrity and dedication. Honor is the thread which holds together the fabric of our Army. Country, for which men and women have given their lives, our country shines as a light of freedom and dignity to the world. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. The Cadet Creed was adopted to instill in Army cadets the values that are critical for successful performance. Cadet Brianna Sanders from the University of Incarnate Word will now recite the Cadet Creed.
The Cadet Creed. I am an Army cadet. Soon I will take an oath and become an Army officer, committed to defending the values which make this nation great. Honor is my touchstone. I understand mission first and people always. I am the past, the spirit of those warriors who have made the final sacrifice. I am the present, the scholar and apprentice soldier, enhancing my skills in the science of warfare and the art of leadership. But above all, I am the future warrior leader of the United States Army. May God give me the compassion and judgment to lead and the gallantry in battle to win. I will do my duty. Leadership excellence, sir.
Train to lead. Easy. Easy.
The greater community of Fort Knox and our national and local service organizations are here to show their support to our future Army leaders. These cadets have demonstrated superior character and service throughout training and will be recognized for their efforts. We kindly ask family and friends to remain seated during the awards presentation. The awardees will be brought forward immediately following the ceremonies for pictures. The AUSA Leadership Excellence Award is presented by Major Retired Mike Pesco. This award is presented to the top cadet in each regiment, as determined by a regimental cadre board. This award is presented to Jack Atanasio from Norwich University. The First Command Financial Services Award is presented by Major Starlet Baker. This award is presented to the cadet who best demonstrates the leadership traits necessary to encourage teamwork, improve unit cohesion, and reinforce mission accomplishment. This award is presented to Cadet Russell Klosterman from Bowling Green State University. The USAA Warrior Ethos Award is presented by Mr. Richard Villa. This award is presented to the cadet who best demonstrated the Army profession, ethic, and officership while exemplifying the warrior spirit. This award is presented to Cadet Corey Grebe from University of Nebraska-Lincoln. The Armed Forces Bank Performance Award is presented by Miss Nicole Shoemaker. This award is presented to the cadet that best demonstrates respect for other cultures and people by effectively utilizing the training scenarios to demonstrate their mastery of the cross-cultural competencies needed in complex environments. This award is presented to Cadet Matthew Sisk from Virginia Military Institute. The Army National Guard Association of the United States Excellence Award is presented by Lieutenant Colonel Troy D. Forston. This award is presented to the National Guard cadet who demonstrates the most improvement in physical and mental preparedness for commissioning. This award is presented to Cadet Spencer Saltern from Weber State University. The Reserve Organization of America Award is presented by Colonel Retired Cliff Bernstein. This award is given to the cadet that embodies the characteristics of a comprehensive soldier by demonstrating resilience and lifelong pursuit of enhanced performance to cope with adversity and stressful situations and thrive in life. This award is presented to Cadet Carnes Edmondson from University of Virginia. The Military Order of World Wars Award is presented by Major Retired Mike Pesco. This award is presented to the cadet who best demonstrates the ability to evaluate, analyze, apply, and understand experiences and capabilities to solve tactical problem sets. This award is presented to Cadet Austin Kazup from Syracuse University. The Military Officers Association of America Award is presented by Major Retired Mike Pesco. This award is given to the cadet that has demonstrated superior dedication to duty by accepting accountability for self and assigned unit through employment of team members, all while applying the fundamentals of leadership. This award is presented to Cadet Logan Lucas from Western Illinois University. The Bold Leader Spirit Award is presented by Miss Gwen Avery, presented to the cadet who best demonstrates appropriate motivational techniques, inspirational leadership, and the spirit of a leader. This award is presented to Cadet Donovan Schuff from Purdue University. The Magellan Federal Award is presented by Miss Megan Hoffman, Performance Expert. This award is presented to the male and female cadet who achieved the overall highest score on the Army Combat Fitness Test. This award is presented to Cadet Mickey Colhert from Michigan Technological University. And Cadet Erica Von Riekum from Northeastern University. The United States Army Reserve Truman Citizen Soldier Award is presented by Brigadier General Frederick A. Hockett. This award is presented to the Army Reserve cadet in each regiment that has distinguished themselves amongst their peers as a top performer and exemplifies outstanding leadership qualities. This award is presented to Cadet Joshua Brower from University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point. The Recondo Award is presented to the cadets who displayed superior individual performance. These cadets were first-time goes in the following events: the Army Combat Fitness Test, earning 80 points or more in each event; the Confidence Course, completing 10 out of 10 obstacles successfully; completing a 6-mile road march in 90 minutes or less; the Hand Grenade Assault Course, completing the entire course as an expert; and Land Navigation, defined as 90% or higher on the written test and obtaining 7 out of 8 correct points on the practical course, qualifying as a sharpshooter or higher in basic rifle marksmanship. Cadets from the 5th Regiment awarded the Recondo Badge have been annotated in your program with an asterisk by their name. At the completion of the ceremony, today's awardees will return to the field for individual congratulations and photo opportunities. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving our awardees a round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the guest speaker for today's ceremony, Chaplain Major General William Green, Jr.
So good morning, everyone. Hope you're having a great Army Day, and also good morning to the entire Fort Knox community. I'm going to ask our cadets to shake it out a little bit, rest. I won't be very long, but I still think it's to your benefit to just shake it out just a little bit. Distinguished guests, cadre, family, friends, and family members, and of course, good morning, cadets. Congratulations. You came, you saw, and you conquered. Give yourselves and your teammates a round of applause. Major General Manura and Command Sergeant Major Young, I am honored to join you here to congratulate this fine group of cadets. Thank you for this invitation. Cadets, I have a simple but essential question for you this morning. What makes a person exceptional? Is it beauty, brains, brawn, achievements, accolades? Is it the schools attended, the badges earned, the recognition received from others? Or is it something more profound, more intrinsic? This question isn't just philosophical. It is central to our lives as soldiers and leaders. In the late spring of 1945, amid harrowing Battle of Okinawa, almost 80 years ago, young Private Desmond Doss braved relentless enemy fire to rescue, hear this, 75 wounded comrades, each time praying, "Dear God, let me get just one more man." Many of you have seen the movie Hacksaw Ridge, and you know that his fellow soldiers, once skeptical of his service, watched Daw in awe as he demonstrated courage and compassion and defied the chaos around him. And under constant enemy fire, Doss tended the wounded, then dragged them to the edge of an escarpment and lowered them down on a rope sling. Even after being severely wounded himself by a grenade and sniper fire, Doss selflessly gave up his stretcher for another injured soldier. I ask you this morning, what made Private Doss do all that? What makes any man or woman defy chaos, rise above the challenges, and overcome obstacles? What makes any person, for that matter, shine in the midst of darkness? I submit to you that it is their immaterial, intangible character and will, their heart and soul. It is indeed the stuff on the inside. A small, insignificant creature many of us remember from childhood, unlike any other creature that might be noticed for their size and strength, the lightning bug is noticed for its glow, for the stuff that's on the inside. And so what makes that lightning bug glow? Indeed, it is indeed the stuff on the inside. You see, your light comes from within. Your character, your competence, your commitment, your connection with others. The stuff on the inside is what got you through advance camp. And I will tell you that it is your character, your competence, your connections that will get you through whatever challenges you may face in the future. Army doctrine tells us that the Army leadership and profession presents us with a useful framework in the Army leadership requirements model that corresponds well with at least 3 C's: character, competence, and connection. Now let's look at the be, know, and do framework briefly. The first component of the be, know, do character is the question, who am I? The first C is character. Character is the foundation of who we are. Character encompasses the traits and the attributes that lead us to do the right thing at the right time for the right reason, whether we are being watched or not. Character, indeed, is the stuff on the inside that made Desmond Doss exceptional. And initially, his unwavering principles made him stand out uncomfortably among his peers. But ultimately, those same principles empowered and steeled him, if you will, and helped him to save the lives of his fellow soldiers. I challenge you, cultivate your character every day. Ask yourself in moments of decision, what kind of leader do I want to be? And then make disciplined choices that align with your values and never, ever compromise your principles. Let your integrity be the light that others follow. The second component of the be, know, do answers the question, what do I know? And that second C stands for competence. Competence refers to the skills and knowledge you acquire. It's not enough to have good intentions. You must be proficient in your duties, technically and tactically proficient in all things you have focused on here at your training at Fort Knox. You must know yourself, you must know your profession, and you must take the time to know your team. I challenge you to commit yourself to be a lifelong learner. We absolutely must. Why? Because the battlefield, both literal and metaphorical, is ever changing. Stay curious, stay informed, and never settled for mediocrity. Strive for excellence in all you do, and let your expertise be a beacon for others to see and follow. This brings us to our final point, the do component of the Army Leader Requirements Model. It answers the question, how will I accomplish the mission? And friends, we accomplish the mission as a team. And that third C is connection. Connection is your ability to build trust, to create a positive climate, and to accomplish the mission on time and to standard. Connection is about relationships you build and the impact you have on others around you, others that you might be required to lead. And it is also about the impact you have on the team. Be teachable. Will you leverage knowledge and expertise of that senior platoon sergeant? Will you seek out the mentorship of your company commander? Will you help build a network with peers? And will you do those things that exceptional leaders do? Will you be the leader who not only stands out in a crowd, but who also lights the way for others? Today, we are faced with many complexities and uncertainties during an unpredictable time, with war in Europe, conflict in the Middle East, and tensions rising in the Pacific. And like General George Marshall, who led our Army and who was also an esteemed statesman, Marshall also knew the importance of preparing for the next thing. And even though our modernization efforts are producing the most technologically advanced equipment, vehicles, and weapon systems the world has ever seen, friends, cadets, the difference between victory and defeat will come down to the immaterial, the character, and the will of our soldiers. It will absolutely come down to the stuff on the inside. General Marshall said the soldier's heart, the soldier's spirit, the soldier's soul are everything. Unless the soldier's soul sustain them, they cannot be relied on and will fail themselves and their commander and their country in the end. Desmond Doss was a young man of unshakable faith and impeccable character. He epitomized the Army values of loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, and personal courage. He lived the warrior ethos we heard expressed in the Cadet Creed delivered so well on the field today. And Private Doss led by example. He was also mentally and spiritually ready. And out of the abundance of who he was, his courageous action flowed. Spiritual readiness is the development of the personal qualities needed to sustain a person in times of stress, hardship, and tragedy. Spiritual readiness comes from the essence of a person, and it is linked to their inner strength, their ability to make meaning of their experiences, and it enables a person to behave ethically, even heroically, and to persevere through challenges, and to be resilient when faced with adversity. As you continue your journey, I challenge you to embrace, be, know, do, to embrace this framework, not for just Army life, but for life overall. If you do that when hard times come, and trust me, they will, your light will shine. You will be a person of character, competence, and connection. There's a little song that I used to sing when I was a kid. It said, "This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I am going to let it shine, and let it shine." Cadets, go forth and do great things for God and country, and let your light shine, because you have invested in building character, connections, and commitment, as well as competence. And the stuff on the inside will lead you to a very prosperous and engaging and promising Army career. God bless you. Be all you can be. Hua. In review.
At this time, the Cadet Regiment will perform the ceremonial pass and review. Please remember to stand and render honors to the nation as the colors pass. At the rear of each company formation is the regimental cadre that provided enduring support and led these cadets to succeed at cadet summer training. Please give them a round of applause. Now passing the reviewing stand is the 300th Army Band from 63rd Readiness Division, Mountain View, California, commanded by Chief Warrant Officer 3 Jeff Smith and Drum Major Staff Sergeant Aaron Mulder. Now passing the reviewing stand is the Commander of Troops for today's graduation, Cadet Duncan Harrison from the Citadel.
Ready!
Now passing the reviewing stand is Alpha Company, led by Cadet Nicholas Brawley from University of Oklahoma.
Ready!
Now passing the reviewing stand is Bravo Company, led by Cadet Ellen Meixner from Western Illinois University.
Ready!
Now passing the reviewing stand is the Color Guard, led by Cadet Olivia Kovac from University of Portland. Now passing the reviewing stand is Charlie Company, led by Cadet James Carroll from Georgia Military College.
Ready!
Now passing the reviewing stand is Delta Company, led by Cadet Trevor Holmes from Old Dominion University.
Ready!
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the Army Song. The words can be found in your program. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the 5th Regiment Cadet Summer Training 2024 graduation ceremony. As a reminder, the ceremony can be viewed at YouTube and Flickr.com for pictures. Family and friends, please allow a few moments for the cadets to prepare for departure before joining them at the tents on the right side of the field. Thank you for attending. Leadership Excellence.
Good job.
Thank you, sir.